My name's JC McCauley.
I'm Naisha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Good morning and welcome to Miss Cleo's Storytelling Corner. Well, took me a while to get my head together today, folks. But I guess I'm kind of together today. And I have some stories for the very young and the very old and all those in between if they want to listen. How do dinosaurs say good night? By Jane Yolen. I really love Jane Yolen. And Mark Teague. There's a great big dinosaur on the cover of the book. So maybe some young people will hear me tell this story and their parents will buy them more books. I know. I'm always telling you to buy books. I know. How many books do you want us to buy, Miss Cleo? As many as you can. And enjoy. Turn off that TV. Tap that phone so it won't ring. And read some story. And it says at the beginning, for my own little dinosaur at bedtime. Madison, Jane, and Allison is Isabel. So let's go with the story. Oh, I don't need to get my glasses. This is really big. How does a dinosaur say good night when Papa comes in to turn off the light? Oh, how does that happen? Does a dinosaur slam his tail and pout? Does he throw his teddy bear about? Does a dinosaur stomp his feet on the floor and shout, I want to hear one book more? Does a dinosaur roar? Roar? How does a dinosaur say goodnight when Mommy comes in to turn off the lights? Does he swing his neck from side to side? Does he up and demand a piggyback ride? Does he mope? Does he moan? Does he sulk? Does he sigh? Does he fall on the top of his covers and cry? No, dinosaurs don't. They don't even try. They give a big kiss. They turn out the light. They tuck in their tails. They whisper good night. They give a big hug, then give one kiss more. Good night. Good night, little dinosaur. And that's a Scholastic book. It's really a wonderful book and a good beginner's book. Your children could read it to you at night. And they can do all kind of little antics. The next story I'm going to tell you. This is a local author. Stories by Dwight Devane Hooker. Kids can read too. I haven't seen Dwight in a long time. We have a lot of authors in this area. Good authors. Now this one, I do have to get my glasses. I might have read this to you a long time ago. My sock. Has anybody seen my favorite sock? My grandma gave it to me. I am one sock short of a pair. The one with dancing flowers around the rim at the top is missing. I cannot blame my cat. The cat plays with his ball of yarn all the time. I cannot blame my dog because he chases after the cat with the yarn all the time. Has anybody seen my sock? I had better take another look at my dog. You know, that dog is kind of sneaky and cool. I did find my pretty pink sneakers by my dog's blue and green bed, but the cat sleeps in that bed too. That sock is not in my jacket. I turned my pockets inside out, but a different sock fell out. I looked under my bed, no sock under my pillow, no sock anywhere. I ran to Grandma, blaming the cat, then blaming the dog. To my surprise, Grandma was sewing a new flower on my favorite sock around the rim, dancing. It's Grandma. It's Grandma. Leaf on a tree. Calmly waving in the breeze, a little leaf speaks to his little leaf friends. They were just blowing gently and singing in the trees. The little leaf speaks out loudly. When we grow up with all the other leaves in all the other trees, we won't be little leaves anymore. We will be a forest with all big trees. Okay, this is the last one. Let me see. One little raindrop jumped out of a tree. Hi, I am just a little raindrop. I fell from a cloud in the sky with millions of other raindrops just like me. We became puddles, ponds, lakes, rivers, and river falls too. So when you are thirsty, have a drink of me, water. When all the water comes together in little drops, we become an ocean. Now, what lives in the ocean? The little raindrops. I kind of thought this was one story, but we'll do another poem. Here we go. One step at a time. No skipping, no hopping. One step at a time. One step into the school bus. I step into my house. I take the stairs to my bedroom. No skipping, no hopping. One step at a time. Grandma and Grandpa have a staircase in their house. I look up, a long way up. No skipping, no hopping, one step at a time. I climb to the top of the stairs, going one step at a time. I am going to wave a flag when I reach the top. Whoopee! I made it! One step at a time. And that's the white hooker. Well, can you keep a secret? Can you keep a secret? How many of us can keep a secret? Oh, Stan's raising his hand. You know,
I have all kinds of secrets I keep from all kinds of people.
He has all kinds of secrets. Well, I can really keep a secret if you say, now you really have to keep this secret, Cleo. I said, I'll keep it. I'll keep this secret. But there was a time when I would say, I will keep a secret, and I do keep the secret. Except I tell one friend, now you got to keep this secret. Because I said I was going to keep this secret, so you have to keep this secret. You promise to keep this secret? And they promise to keep the secret. All right, I'll tell you the secret. And then I tell them the secret. And before you know it, the secret's all over the place. When you say you're going to keep a secret, keep a secret. Of course, sometimes the secret is, there are secrets you can keep, but sometimes there's some juicy secrets that you just want to tell somebody so bad. But you promised to keep the secret, so you have to keep the secret. That's when I have to go do some exercise and leave the person. I said, now, you got a feeling that you're gonna tell this secret, so you better just leave here. They have to tell their own secrets. I'm not gonna tell them. Okay. Remember this book. I've read it before. The Secret Olivia Told Me. Okay. Olivia told me a secret. I promised I would not tell. It was such a great big secret. I thought my head might swell. It was hard not to tell the secret. I wanted to spread the news. But I gave Olivia my word. Her friendship I could not lose. As I played with my playmate, Yana Annie, the secret accidentally slipped. Oops. Because I could catch the secret before I could catch the secret. It tumbled right out of my lips. Annie chatted with Stephanie, and at once Stephanie knew. Then Steph whispered to Tony. She declared that it was true. Tony leaked the secret to Jaylin. Jaylin's sister, Anita, overheard. It didn't take long for Anita to start spreading the word. Anita told her friend Terry. To the secret, she added more. When Terry told Tabby the secret, it was bigger than ever before. The secret became even bigger with parts that were not true. The secret was no longer special because now everyone knew. I thought and I worried and I fretted. What did I get myself into? She decided to tell Olivia the truth, 'cause it was the right thing to do. I'm sorry, I said to Olivia. You know I am your friend. I made a mistake. The secret is out. Please don't let our friendship end. Together we both learned a lesson. Of this we're very sure. Don't tell a single person a secret, or it won't be a secret anymore. Amen. That is the truth. And there is let me see if I'm doing this right. I'm going to do this. I get really upset sometimes because, you know why I get upset? I get upset because times are changing. Guess why I get upset? Times are changing, and where I was very secure, now I'm not. Now let me see what this girl's name is. And I'm just gonna be, and we're gonna okay, here we go. Pronounce Ayanna. Ayana. It's Ayana. Did I say Ayana? Stan?
I don't think so.
Was I? No. In the story, did you hear that name, Ayana? Okay. Let me see if I. Okay.
I don't remember the names of the people. I remember the story. I don't remember the names of the people.
Yes, but when people listen to me, and especially if they wrote the book, they're not going to hear the right name. Okay, Ayana chatted to Stephanie. Now let me just see. And this is what you do when you are reading. If you don't know a word, you might skip it for a minute there. But don't skip it, because you're gonna come across that word again and again. And it's nice. No, I think that was the only one. It's nice to have a little pad or a little book that you just put words that you don't know in, that you come across and you don't know. Look them up, put them in your book, because when you look them up and you get the meaning, next time you see it, you may not remember the meaning. Ayana. So next time you'll know it. I have a stack of cards. Very thick stack of cards, because I went through a book of words one time, and I wanted to know as many words as I could, and I wrote them down and I put the definitions, and I haven't done it in a long time. I used to say them every day. I used to go through that big pile of words and say them every day, and some of them caught on, but just saying a word and knowing the definition and going through all those words, it still doesn't sink into your memory, especially when you're reading. All I can remember is, I've seen that word, I know that word, now let me figure out what this word means in this sentence, because I know that word, and things like this. And I used to listen to newscasters, because newscasters use a lot of words, and they used to use words that I didn't know. They weren't terribly hard words, but they were words that I should know. So I used to listen to them and try to write them down and say them. So the next time I heard them, I would know what they meant, or read them, I would know what they mean. So that is what I used to do. And we're going to go to commercial right now. And I am going to be right back with more stories. See you in a moment.
We all know smoking is harmful, right? But did you know that even after the smoke clears, the danger remains? This is called third-hand smoke. Third-hand smoke is the toxic residue left behind on surfaces like furniture, walls, or even clothes. These harmful chemicals can linger for days, weeks, or even months. Young children and pets are especially vulnerable. They can ingest these toxins simply by touching contaminated surfaces and then putting their hands or toys in their mouth. The best way to protect your loved ones? Make your home and car completely smoke-free. Remember, it's not just about the smoke you see, but the unseen toxins you leave behind. Protect your family from third-hand smoke. Choose a smoke-free environment.
Hi, my name is Melina DePue, and I am a Hartford Parent University parent leader, and I believe that with this organization, it helps me to become a better parent for my children, to help them with their education in school, to help them become successful, and to help them along the way during college. I believe that this program will help me to become a better parent as far as the new technology, the new education, the new homework skills that these students are learning. It also helps me to learn the new skills where I can better help my kids with their homework, with any questions that they have, with helping them navigate through school, to know who they can turn to when they need help, and just to show them that I'm by their side no matter what. This program is really, really very helpful, and I pray that every parent will join to be successful for their children's education. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Welcome back to Miss Cleo's Storytelling Corner. I hope that in your children's libraries you have books like Spike Lee, Giant Steps to Change the World, positive books to help them or encourage them. And I'm not going to tell this story now, but I'll tell it some other week. I'm preparing it now. And you know what's a very good story to tell? It has some pros and cons to it in some ways, but the basic message is good, and it is The Ugly Duckling. It's a beautiful story. And it has a lot of good things in it. So, yeah, tell your children the story of the ugly duckling. Have you ever told that story, Stan? Or heard the story of the ugly duckling? They kind of, well, they shorten it and they kind of neutralize it a little bit in modern times, but the way it was originally told, it's a great story. So I'm going to tell it in a couple of weeks. After I tell it to where I'm supposed to tell it in the first place, I will I will come here and I'll tell that story. But today we have a storybook, Spike Lee and Tanya Lewis Lee. Spike Lee is he's awful serious. When I see him on TV, I said, I don't know if I would talk to him because he's awful serious. But he's really dedicated to youth and what he's doing into his race and culture. So I got to give him that. But to me, it's I go into that little girl stage and I see these very serious people, which I stay away from because I don't see a smile coming on either side. I said, "Oh no, I'm not going over there." That's how I feel about Spike Lee. He's always so serious. Oh goodness. Okay. Giant steps to change the world. On some days, your dreams may seem too far away to realize. Listen to the whispers of those that came before, those who had hard days but dared to make their dreams come true. They made giant steps to make the world a better place. A left big shoe for you to fill. The road won't be easy. People will try to exclude you, but you must leap over hurdles like the Olympic athletes who won the gold, even though he had been relegated to second-class status by the very country he was representing. There will be dark days. There will be dark days and lonely nights. Press on through the darkness and keep going. The way the freedom fighters encouraged the enslaved to ride the railroad to safety so that all could be free. You won't always have the answers. Ask for help and guidance. Like the teacher who started a school for children thought unteachable and turned them into scholars. Others may try to force you to ignore your principles. Stand your ground, like the heavyweight champion who refused to pick up a gun against a fellow human being. If they tell you no, you are not smart enough, prove them wrong with your fortitude and brilliance, like the neurosurgeon with magic hands, because they were wrong about him and they are wrong about you. Your heart will ache for your countryman who is hungry. Go to him and feed him. Like a woman who dedicated her life to feeding the hungry and healing the sick and ask for nothing in return. When you witness the ills that poverty and lack of education heap on a community, lend your voice, like the poet who wrote of the pain and the beauty of neighborhoods forgotten. Speak of rivers. If you dare stare at a painting and do not see yourself there, paint your own portrait. Let the world see that you do exist and that you are truly special, like the boy from Brooklyn whose style was so unique. While some may say you are crazy, wild, or even selfish, you know you are just like the scientist who had a hard time learning to read, but whose theories became the basis of most of modern science. When those whispering in your ear to tell you that your country is in need of new leadership and new direction, make a plan and make your voice heard. Like the man who dreamed of his father, found his own vision, and changed the world forever by becoming President of the United States. That first step is key. You may be so unsteady that you actually fall, but you must pick yourself up and keep going. Your might, your courage will be the foundation that impacts us all. So when you take that first big step, beware of the worst enemy of all, fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being different, fear of being the same. Shoot down that fear like the mighty pilots from Tuskegee who shot down their Nazi foes from the sky. Take a giant step over that fear, like the giant step one astronaut made on the moon for all mankind. What's your next step going to be? What's your next step going to be? You know, I think a lot of adults ought to read this book to remind us of what we ought to be doing. I love this book. You know, I didn't feel it as much the first time I read it as I felt it this time. And probably the next time I read it, I'll even see more and feel more. Did you know the characters that they were, or the people that Spike Lee was talking about? Let's see if we can name them. He didn't name them. Let's see if we can name them, okay? Let's see. Okay. Oh no, the road is not easy. The road is not easy. You know, this is a very good message for me tonight. There will be dark days. Press on. Let me see the way the freedom fighters encouraged and enslaved. You won't always have the answers, and Lord knows you will not always have the answers. Don't feel bad. And don't feel bad to go get some help. Please don't feel bad to go get some help. You know, when I was young, you thought you had to know. You thought you had to know, and you thought you couldn't make a mistake. And if you failed once, if you didn't have an adult around to tell you that wasn't your last chance, then you just failed, and you thought that was the end of it. You need people around. Your children need people around saying, okay, you failed, so go do it again. That's not the end of the world. Yeah, that's not the end of the world. Okay. Others may try to force you to ignore your principles. Stand your ground like the heavyweight champion who refused to pick up a gun against a fellow human being. Who was that? Who was that? Right. Stan got it right. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Okay, let's see if we can. If they tell you no, you are not smart enough, prove them wrong with your fortitude and brilliance, like the neurosurgeon with magic hands, because they were wrong about him and they're wrong about you. Who was that? I don't remember his name. The neurosurgeon. Neurosurgeon. Who was he? I don't know. You know, give Stan a text. Tell him who that was. Tell him who that is. I don't know either. Your heart will ache for your countryman who is hungry. Go to him and feed him. Like the woman who dedicated her life to feeding the hungry and healing the sick and ask for nothing in return.
Mother Teresa.
Who?
Mother Teresa.
Meditative. Let me see. That's who. Stan says Mother Teresa. It probably was. I don't know. When you witness the ills that poverty and lack of education heap on a community, lend your voice, like the poet who wrote of the pain and the beauty of neighborhoods forgotten. Yes, who? All right. Speak of rivers. Who was that? Langston Hughes. Okay, I knew one. I knew a couple. Oh, if you stare at a painting and do not see yourself there, paint your own portrait. Let the world see that you do exist and that you are truly special, like the boy from Brooklyn whose style was so unique. And I do not know who he is. Do you? No, I do not. Write us, text him, tell us who it is. Tell us who that is. Now, I know most people are going to know this one. While some may say you are crazy, wild, or even selfish, you know you are just like that scientist who had a hard time learning to read, but whose theories became the basis for most of modern science. Who is that? German.
Not Albert Einstein.
E equals MC squared. You should know that.
Is it Albert Einstein?
Huh?
Albert Einstein?
Albert Einstein, yes.
Okay, I said it wasn't him, but it is him. Okay.
Yes, you know, when I saw Albert Einstein on TV when I was a kid, and I fell in love with Albert Einstein on TV when I was a kid. I don't know what I liked about him so much. And I have a big book about him, and I'm reading about him. And as a person, he did not disappoint me. But he could not read when he was a kid. He had a hard time learning to read, just like myself. I had a hard time learning to read. Maybe that's why I liked him so much. And they used to call him, my aunt told me, Dummkopf. He's a Dummkopf. And so I learned that. That means he was a dummy. That's what they used to call me, Dummkopf. And he was a great scientist. A great scientist. Okay, I know you're going to know this last one. When those whisper in your ear to tell you that your country is in need of new leadership and new direction, make a plan and make your voice heard. Like the man who dreamed of his father, found his own vision, and changed the world forever by becoming President of the United States. Who was that?
Say that one more time.
I know you don't. Okay. When those whispering in your ear tell you that your country is in need of new leadership and new direction, make a plan and make your voice heard. Like the man who dreamed of his father, found his own vision, and changed the world forever by becoming President of the United States.
It can only be Obama.
Right. Obama. President Obama. Okay. And I think that's it. Um, I think I'll read this part again. So when you take that first step, beware of the worst enemy of all, fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being different, fear of being the same. Shoot down that fear like the mighty pilots from Tuskegee who shot down their Nazi foes from the sky. Take a giant step over that fear, like the giant step one astronaut made on the moon for all mankind. What's your next step? What's your next step going to be? Who was the astronaut? Neil Armstrong, yes. Thank you, Spike Lee and Tanya Lee. That's a wonderful book. One I should put in the front of my bookcase now and read it every once in a while when that fear starts creeping up on me. The book I'm going to read to you next is Saturday. And this book touched my heart. Monday, I can't think, always the same. I get to school late, siblings to blame. Didn't have breakfast, can't stand this class. I get yelled at, everyone laughs. On the block later, I like to hang. You probably guessed it, down with a gang. Well, no, not really. Not anyway yet. When I get home, my mother says, on Saturday, you're going to see your father. Tuesday, I can't think, always the same, still get to school late, siblings to blame. Didn't have breakfast, can't stand this class, same clothes as yesterday, everyone laughs. I got it bad sometimes, in trouble in school a lot. Dad quit school, he chilled on the block. On Wednesday they meet to find out what to do to help my grades go up and get me through school. It's not like I don't know, sometimes I don't care, to answer the square root of 25 or who, what, when, why, or where. Thursday is a half day. That means no school for me. We get to eat breakfast today, and on top of that, watch TV. Who's your baby's daddy? Who's cheating on who? This is way more interesting than what we learn in school. Just like your daddy, with his no good for nothing behind. I got some words for him. On Saturday. She got some words for him. Makes me start to think, what do I have to say to my dad? I wonder if his other kids visit. I wonder if he's sad. I get crazy confused today wondering about my dad. Friday. I can't think. Always the same. I get to school, siblings to blame. Didn't have breakfast, can't stand this class. I can't hear anyone. Don't care if they laugh. My whole day is confused on words for my dad. So I block out everything from the first word to the last. Why didn't you finish school? Why are you in here? Do you still love my mom? Do you even care? When are you getting out? What will you do? Is it cool to be in here? Should I look up to you? The words just flowed on and on, question after question. On Friday night, I could hardly sleep, awaiting our session. Saturday came, and it was time to go and visit Dad. I got in the car with my list and read it over and over again until I fell asleep. When I woke up, we were there, state prison. So what's next? It can't possibly end like this. You decide. What will our main character say to his father? Will he use the list? What will his father say? Will they be happy to see each other? What do you think will happen next? Write your own ending. So that's where it ends. It ends, he's in the car. He got to state prison. There's his face. There's a face. Where am I? How do I get there? Here we go. There's the face. What will I say? Whoops, this way. What do I say to my father? What's he gonna say? Poor thing. So that's a sad story. And so many children are going through it, whether it be their father or their mother, a prominent adult in their life that is incarcerated. Oh, I can't say anything because I never have been through anything even close to that. And when I first went into the soup kitchen, I thought I knew, but I didn't know. There's so many lives and so many worlds and so many things that people go through that I didn't have any idea, and I thought I was just so smart. I thought I knew what I knew, and I'm going to help you out of this mess. But no, instead, they helped me open up my world and learn that my world wasn't the only world and that people are facing a lot of things. And through their helping me do that, I help them. So they help me, I help them, and together we created quite a few programs to help others. It was a wonderful relationship and a wonderful learning. Well, it's time to go again. I know you hate to leave me. I know you have nothing else to do but sit here and listen to Miss Cleo, but it's time to go. And you remember, read a little, write a little, dream big, and I'll see you next week.